joys of living in Montana. It's 3 degrees outside. I just had to come get some firewood because my furnace decided to go out. And I've got a wood stove, thank God, to keep me alive. Just getting over a pretty bad sickness. Everybody got sick. It's down for the count for a little bit. But back at it. All I can say is at least the sun's out. As long as I'm nice and warm in my truck. What a week. Maybe I can get something done this week. It may look nice outside, but it is absolutely freezing. This right here is the only thing keeping me alive because my furnace decided to go out a couple weeks ago, right before the cold. But this is actually doing a pretty good job of keeping it warm as long as I get enough wood. Actually saving money too. Probably cost me about $100, $150 a month to run the stove, whereas my furnace would be around $300 to $350. Got to keep the water running so the pipes don't freeze. Hey, it's Aaron, and this video is about that guy back there, right there. Aria Pro 2 Fullerton, and why I got it, and how it sounds, and looks and feels, and all that. So a little backstory. This all started, I saw online a guitar, an old guitar, it looked like a cheap one, for sale with an amp, and it was just called a Fullerton, a Strat knockoff. Now it was really funky looking. It kind of had that 80s vibe, or kind of like a turkey with its arms up. But because it was called Fullerton, I was interested. And the reason for that, it's going to sound a bit nerdy, but if there's one thing I'm a little more obsessed about than Japanese stuff, it's anything Fuller related. My last name is Fuller. I went to Cal State Fullerton in California. Fullerton is where Fender is from originally. Fullerton literally means Fuller Town. I know this is bad. My family hate it. Anyways, so I was curious. I wanted to get the Fullerton guitar. I thought it'd just be a cool little thing to have around the house, even though it wasn't really, that great looking of a guitar. I was curious why they called it Fullerton. I figured it was just because Fender knockoff Fenders were made in Fullerton, California, or maybe it was because the involvement of George Fullerton with Leo Fender, who went on to create G&L guitars. And so I looked that up, and then there is a G&L Fullerton model as well, which I can't afford that. Those are nice looking guitars for about $1,500 on up, I think. But then there was also the Aria Fullerton. And so I kind of figured this guitar that I saw online might have been an older Aria Fullerton, but now I think it's just a knockoff of a knockoff. So anyways, I offered the guy money just for the guitar. I didn't need the amp, but he never got back to me. So I went on a hunt for the more affordable Aria Fullerton guitars. Again, I don't know. This was a Japanese company, Aria, founded in the 1950s. I do love Japanese stuff, so I figured this would be a good fit to try to find an older one. Again, I don't know why they called it the Fullerton model. I couldn't find anything about it. I figured it either has to be Fender's origin in Fullerton, California, or George Fullerton, who was a partner and helped create some of these guitars for Fender. And it's ironic, George Fullerton wasn't from Fullerton. He was from Arkansas, I believe, but he ended up moving and living and dying in Fullerton. And also Fullerton, the town, was not named for him. It was named for another George Fullerton, who was a railroad guy, if you're at all interested in that kind of history. Get back to the guitar. I went on a trip to Minneapolis, and I was kind of hoping to find an old Aria out there. To no luck. I looked at a few guitar stores and everything. That was kind of what I was on the hunt for, a cheap guitar. No luck out there. I don't really like ordering stuff online, but I kept looking, and then I found a really good deal on this, which is a newer, I think it was said used, but it was pretty much brand new when I got it. I don't like buying online. You never know what you're going to get, but I was pleasantly surprised. I only paid $200 for it, and there was no sales tax in Montana, so it was that and shipping, $20 shipping. So far, I love it. Can't beat it for the price, but I'm going to check it out and see what it is capable of. I've got my little amp from one of my last videos that I'm still determined to get to sound good. That Fender Reverb. So I'm gonna mess with that. One of the viewers mentioned cleaning some of the effects loop ports in the back. So I'm gonna give that a try and see if I can make that amp sound decent with this guitar. Anyways, thanks for watching. Who do you think you are, Paul? Elon Musk? So right off the bat, there are some interesting features about this. It does have the reverse jack socket, which I really like. So you can put your cord through your strap, and it just seems like a nice little feature. I'm surprised more companies don't do it. It does have a nice Wilkinson tremolo bridge. Seems pretty solid. I haven't messed around with this too much, but one of the best things I like about it is this truss rod adjustment. It makes it so much easier having that there, not screwing up your guitar, scratching it up. So good feature there. It does have these nice abalone fret markers. And there's the headstock. The neck is a toasted maple, which I think looks really nice with the black. What's up, Paul? Now, unfortunately, it is made in China, but I'm just gonna get those stickers removed and remove all evidence. Tuners are pretty decent, but this toasted maple neck is really nice. And a bolt-on neck. There's the back of the trim. But yeah, I mean, you know, being made in China isn't my first choice, but their quality has come up because I think this is a great feeling guitar especially for the price. It does have these single coil pickups and a humbucker, which you can split by pulling that out. Cool feature too. And I think it's a 5-way switch. Anyways, let's get it plugged in and see how it sounds. A little better lighting for some sexy shots. It's nice here too. I like that. I really like the look of the black with the toasted maple. Here's a better shot of the headstock. Okay, on my last video, I had a commenter, Brandon, who said the problem may be with these preamp, main amp not being clean, so I'm gonna give that a try. And he said, do a patch for the FX loop, maybe it'll fix the problem. It's worth a shot. Thank you, Brandon. And I wanna fool around with it anyways, run a pedal in here at some point, see how that is. I've never done that before, running a pedal before rather than after. So first just gonna use a little electronic cleaner in there. Then I'll do the patch cable. Let that dry for a minute. Let's turn this on and give it a shot. I know this is a cheap little amp, but still fun to play around with. So I don't know if I can plug in the guitar and then that'll work. Plus, I've got my new guitar to test, so I can rule out whether the guitar itself was a problem. Probably should pull this amp away from the stove. It is a little toasty. So I did try that first input again, no luck. Gonna mess around a bit and try the second input, but also play around with these FX loops. See if I can get a cool sound that way. That's a new thing to me, so I wanna mess around with it a bit. Okay, first I'm gonna try plugging it directly to the amp on input 2, the only one that works decent. I'm gonna use this pedal 2, the Super Overdrive, the only pedal I own. But let's see what it sounds like just directly into the amp first. Got some buzz there. Did I this backwards or what? Oh, that's weird. All right, I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm gonna bypass all the other stuff I was gonna screw around with. Just try it with the overdrive pedal. Try the different pickup positions. That's in the ballpark of where I want it to sound, so I don't need the pedal. No, it's not working. This amp is pretty much toast, but sounding decent if I can prop the cable up. So next video, new amp. Well, technical difficulties aside, I do love the way this guitar feels. I was messing around when the amp was working and it did sound really good. For $200, this thing's great. I'm super happy with my purchase. It feels great. There's no fret roughage here. There was a little scratchiness, like bending on the frets needing to be polished a bit, but just messing around with it kind of cleared that up a bit. Feels really nice all the way through. I did have to mess with the truss a little bit, just it's getting a little buzzing down here. But yeah, this was a great guitar, and I can't believe how cheap they go for. Anyways, try to get some more sound out of this thing. All right, time to pick up the kids. Enough screwing around. Overall, for $200, I'm way happy with this guitar. Feels great, and I think it sounds pretty good. I obviously need to get a better amp to play it through. That will be my next video. If anybody knows why Aria named them the Fullerton, whether it was for the town of Fullerton, where Fender is from, or for George Fullerton and his involvement with Fender and Leo Fender. If anybody knows, I couldn't find any information on it, but if you do know, please let me know. I do still wish I could have got that cheap, funny-looking Fullerton guitar just to figure out where it's from. I'm guessing it's just a knockoff of a knockoff from China, but who knows? Could have been a great guitar. Maybe the guy will change his mind and sell it to me, and I'll figure it out. But anyways, thanks for watching. Next video, I'm definitely on the hunt for an amp. I want to get a tube amp of some sort, so see what I can find out there. Fire's gone out. Let's throw a couple more logs on there to stay warm. Gotta keep this sucker going.